Hey guys, this is Pop That Corn 14 here, representing LSS levels. Hello there. Welcome to the video, Miss Kiki. So today, we're going to be doing something a little different. I'm kind of tired of doing all the uploads that we do on LSS levels. It's just, I don't feel like it's the right focus of our channel. So today, we're going to be doing a cooking video. So let me grab a pan out of the dishwasher. I got to unload this. So first things first, we need to get our pan. I'm going to clean the water out of that real quickly. Oh, guys, we lucked out. Yeah, there's enough eggs for us to do some egg sandwiches. We got 3 eggs in here, which is more than enough. I think we're just going to do 1 for what we're doing, though. Or 2, I mean. We're going to do 2. We have just enough bread, too, so we're going to need some bread. So, next up, we're going to need... You know, you can't have a good egg sandwich without some butter on the bread. Now, if you guys want to make your own egg sandwiches at home, this video has actually been sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, the most intense egg cooking simulator on mobile. I personally learned everything I know about eggs from Raid. Makes it taste a lot better, so we're going to use Land O'Lakes. Also, this is what my fridge looks like if you're curious. Alright, next up we're going to go back in the fridge and we're going to grab some American cheese, or any kind of cheese that you want to use. Any will suffice, so I'm just going to grab 2 for the sake of brevity. So we're going to put it over here, and next up I'm going to get some ham, so that way I can have a little layer on that to make it taste even better. So now we got our god tier setup right here. Got the eggs, we got the ham, the bread, the butter, and we got the cheese. So now, we gotta put all that in there. What are you up to, Crystal? Oh yeah, and something I'm gonna do real quickly is I'm gonna grab the plate because we're gonna need to put the bread on there. Yeah, so take your bread out and you can just line it up on this plate. I like to leave the butter out for a little bit, so that way it's easier to put down on the bread, but we'll get to that in just a minute. And then we're going to want to turn the stove on. I like to do 5.5, so you can turn this down a little bit, just kind of have a nice central point. That way it's not overheating too quickly, and that way it's not taking too long. So, yeah. So now we just have to wait a little bit while we get this set up. Aren't you guys excited? Well, hi! Hi! I just noticed you were there. Alright. Yeah, I just wanna... You know? Yeah. Oh, and I just want to mention, these are end pieces. Both of these are end pieces in here. You know what we do with end pieces? We put them in the trash can. Nobody likes end pieces. This video has been sponsored by multiple buy surges. Which buy surge are you? Comment below and tag yourself on which one you think you are. Alright, so next up what we're going to do is we're going to get our silverware. So, to put the butter on the bread, we're going to use a knife. Now technically, yeah, we could toast it, but it's going to toast on the pan, so what's the point of doing that? I mean, think of it as like a Mario Construct level that has scenery, but you're basically adding a bunch more scenery when you're adding more toast to this. When, you don't want to overdo it, I'm just saying. Alright, now, personally I consider this to be the hardest part, but you gotta get that butter on there nice and good. Nice and good, just like a completed level. Everybody likes to see a completed level, just as they want to see completed butter on a bread, Yeah, so do that 4 times, and you got yourself some buttered bread. We don't need the butter anymore, so we can just put this away real quickly. Alright, so next up what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually... Okay, so I see a lot of people make this mistake. I used to make the mistake all the time when I was younger. So before we put... we're gonna put the egg on next, but something really important we need to do first before we do that. We're gonna take some Pam and we're actually gonna coat it. So that way it's not all messy when we're trying to put it all on. So, I'm just gonna give that a nice little spray right there. Just like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack my eggs open, and then we're going to put them in here. So, you can kind of crack it on the end right there, and then you kind of have to be careful with how you open that, right? So, let me adjust like that. Yeah, okay. So, now I placed it like that, and I like to spread the yolk out a little more. Yeah, I know there's egg pieces right there, so... gotta try and get that out real quickly the best I can. Alright, so next up what I like to do is I like to get some pepper. So I'm using this black pepper from a store called Kroger, which is down the street from where I'm at. So we're gonna drizzle it with a little bit of pepper. We don't want to overdo it too much. And what we want to do next is when you see the outlines turn a bit brown, that's when we know we need to flip it over. So to do that, we need a spatula. We don't want to use the metallic one as we don't want to damage the pan. We don't want to leave any marks on it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this one. We'll use that one to flip it. Look at those eggs go. Don't they just look spectacular? They look like a negative 26 lives level and a Shell Guy 55 level, just back to back. Just look at the quality on those eggs. I could eat eggs like these any day, I'm just saying. Kiki decided to lay on the chair, if you're curious. Hi, Kiki. She wants to hang out with me. She's been trilling a lot since I got home. I got home from school, and she's just like, I just want to spend time with you, because, she just likes to lay on my lap a lot. We recently got her because one of our cats passed away about a month ago, so... yeah, it's been quite an adjustment. Anyway, guys, so I think this is good to flip now. So it's kind of hard to show this while I'm recording, but you can see I'm kind of trying to flip it like that. Let's see if I can get a good view on that. Yeah, there we go. So I like to press down a little bit so that way it cooks a little more. And so, yeah, you can see the brown marks means it's just about done. So this is the part where you can determine if you want it extra crispy, just crispy enough. Now for me, I like it a little extra crispy. Can't go wrong with that. And then I'm just gonna let this sit here for a minute. By the way, guys, I have a confession to make. I really like mayonnaise a lot. Ranch is my favorite condiment. I think mayonnaise is probably like second place. So, a little something I like to do is I like to grab some mayonnaise, and then I'm gonna do this right now. Grab a tiny little bowl, and then I'm gonna put some mayonnaise in there, and then I'm gonna dip my egg sandwiches in them. Let's check on these. Okay, yeah, these look pretty good. I'm gonna actually give this another minute. These top parts look done. So I'm just gonna give it another minute, and then we'll add the bread and the butter and ham. Crystal, Crystal, hi, hi, Crystal, how you doing? Okay, we've really got to get to these. I keep forgetting. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the eggs off real quickly. Okay, I can't really do this with two hands. Oh, yeah, I probably could have gone a little less on that. I mean, this will still work fine. Okay, since I can only record with one hand and do this with one hand, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the bread that is buttered. We're going to put the buttered side down. Put the buttered side down. Next, we're going to put the egg on top of the bread. And now, what we're going to do is we're going to take some ham. So, take some ham. We're going to put it on top of the egg like this. That way it gives our little ham layer. Can't go wrong with some ham. I know this isn't perfect. It's so hard to do this with one hand. I'm so used to doing it with two. And now, we're going to take our American cheese, and we're gonna put the American cheese on top. So just put it on top like that, and then we got our American cheese right here, and we're gonna get rid of this. It's hard to do it like that. Now, you don't have to be perfect with it, as long as it's edible, you know, that's all that matters. And then the buttered side you want facing up, because when we flip it, you know, we want the buttered side to go down, if that makes sense. So, periodically, I like to check underneath. I can't really show this, but I'll like check underneath to see how it's doing. So, you kind of want it to look crispy. You don't want it looking dark. If it's like brown, that's good. That means it's just about done. But if you want like an extra coat of brown, then you can usually go a little longer. It just kind of depends on how you want to do things. Okay, yeah, so these are looking pretty dark, so, you know, I can't really show this, but... Sorry, guys, I couldn't really show the flip, but basically, I just took my hand and I flipped it over. You can also just do a spatula, too, but this is just the way I like to do it. So, yeah, this one is a little bit dark. That's a bit dark, too, but it should still be fine. So, just give this another minute, and then it should be ready. And another way you can tell, too, is on the bottom. When you start to see it look pretty brown, that's when you know it's getting close. You know, like, when you get close to being a level, like, when you collect enough, like, dragon coins, it's like a sign that you just can tell that you're close. It's kind of like that in a way, you know. Also, why is this purple? It's showing red for me. Yeah, I know it's the way it records. It's just kind of weird it does that, you know. Whoopsie daisy! Looks like you crashed the page! So anyway, these are looking pretty good, so we're gonna take the spatula, we're gonna put these egg sandwiches on the plate. And voila, we got some egg sandwiches. Now, I definitely did this one a little bit longer than I should have, but that's okay. It's still going to taste just fine. So, next up what I would like to do is I'm going to clean this fork off with this paper towel, and then we're going to cut this up. And then, yeah, we're going to dip it in some mayonnaise. This is just how I do it, but of course you can also just put mayonnaise on, you know, the egg sandwich, you know. It just depends how you wish to do it. Now, I prefer doing it like this way rather than this way. I just think it looks better. I like the triangles. Triangles beat rectangles for me any day. So yeah, we're going to cut this up like this. Give it a nice little cut. And yeah, look at that. You've cut it up. Well, folks, what do you think? Egg sandwich. And now, we're going to dip it in some mayonnaise. Pretty good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching our cooking tutorial, and if you'd love to see more, make sure you subscribe and like as always, and we'll catch you guys around. But yeah, oh hey, you can see me right here. Anyway, have a good one, guys. Hope you enjoyed our little cooking tutorial from LSS Levels. Energy.